Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a Gladiator series featuring the Barbarian class. And yes, most definitely, we will be getting harassed by rogues. So, just first off, for any of you that don't know, this is a series where I only loot players I kill, meaning I can't take stuff off the ground or whatever, so I thought going with toughness, giving me some HP, and then blood exchange, which some people had mentioned was really good, was a great idea. And now there's probably a bunch of you saying, that's a terrible idea. And we'll kind of learn that together as we go through this series, because I do change things up as I learn more about the Barbarian in Playtest 5. There was no patch notes in Playtest 5, so it was kind of experimenting and throwing stuff at the wall hoping it sticks. So in this episode, we're actually going to go through a couple of games where it's kind of this broad learning experience, trying to learn the Barbarian for the first time in Playtest 5, and also deciding what perks and skills may be more beneficial. And we immediately get introduced to one of the most frustrating things about playing the Barbarian. That's fighting a rogue with a rapier. Don't have the movement speed to dodge his swings, don't have the reach to actually connect. And it's quite frustrating. Sadly, we take our first death within like 30 seconds of playtime. And seeing how I only lasted literally 30 seconds, I decided to jump back into a game to maybe give blood exchange an opportunity to work. We clear out a few mummies that I dealt with many times in the fighter series, and then basically get some practice swings in on a few of these goblin mobs. I really underestimate how slow Barbarian can be while swinging, and taking a goblin mage can be very tricky. Now, many of you are looking at blood exchange and thinking, damn, it's only a single use. And I'm right there with you. I thought it was multiple uses, which is why I thought it had some sort of powerful, role in this Barbarian class, but early impressions, as soon as I seen that one, I was like, oh, this is going to be rough. Somehow I gotta deal damage quickly with a weapon that swings incredibly slow, and then that will basically regenerate some of my HP. Anyway, we'll give it a chance, see how it does. We get our first Barbarian square off, which means expect a few misses, maybe? Or not. Yeah, that worked out quite well. He was obviously pretty low, which is why we pushed him up the stairs after he took a few arrows, maybe hit that trap. And after this, basically we just get to do some more practice swings. And seeing how the game was almost over, I do pop blood exchange. And then it's over. I only had time to swing with it twice, connecting once because of skill issues. But it didn't recover a whole lot of HP, and the duration felt a lot shorter than I was expecting. So, we may be quickly changing away from blood exchange. And to the guy who suggested it, I don't know what he's using to make it work, or, what setup he has. Curious, but we'll switch. And one thing you just noticed, throwing axes. That is one thing that I overlooked big time every time I play the Barbarian class, like rejoin back into playing Barbarian or connect with the class. Fighter class doesn't start with those, so I'm so unfamiliar with them. But once Playtest 5 ended, I realized everyone was using throwing axes. Well, Barbarian makes sense, but even on fighter class. But like I said, this is a learning journey, and I was yet to find that perk, that skill, that moment that told me, damn, I need to be using these more. Up until this point, I was just grinding out games on the fighter class. So, putting it all out there. This was my learning experience, and throughout this series, we do get there. We do get there, trust me. Jumping into another game, we get kind of a fun room, fun spawn, meaning you get guys basically pushing you from this large open cavern. And we're kind of sad to see it's another rogue, which is going to be a very difficult fight. And this is when those throwing axes would have been pretty beneficial. He seems like he doesn't really want to fight. But seeing how this is the Gladiator series, we are thrown into this place to be combatants. Not friends, combatants. And the Gladiator in me is saying, we need to find a way to win this fight, somehow. Try to sneak up and land a hit, he double jumps away. And the struggles continue when facing rogues. They are slippery, they are fast, they can dodge in and out of your attacks, especially with the starter weapon. And if you're still not very good with the Barbarian class, like me here, throwing axes aren't something you're using as much. He goes invisible, which drops aggro as he took a swing from that goblin. And then I'm getting surrounded by goblins on top of being jabbed in the face by a rondel or pressed dagger. Not looking good. Really not looking good. The HP bonus didn't help me at all here as I took a crazy amount of poison damage from several mobs. And he basically has, yeah, he can do whatever he wants to me now. Throwing knife, anything at all, I am toast. There's no real way to get out of here easily for me. And I'm just hoping, praying that aggro will maybe attach to him and he'll take some damage too. Just cornered. There's just no way out. I should not have jumped down here. Really, really horrible idea. And now look at the goblins, eh? In the end, he does land the last hit, and that's 2 deaths to rogues. We have won a 1v1 versus Barbarian, which was basically a freebie. We're not off to a great start, but we are slowly learning. Blood exchange, useless. HP bump, using toughness, and then Savage Roar to give you kind of a burst of HP. Not quite as effective as I'd hoped, and truthfully I forgot to use it towards the end of that last fight. So, we struggle, we have no armor, poison damage still hurts, and recovering that HP is near impossible, even though it gives you that slight, momentary bonus. Resting on a barb also takes half a century if you do lose any amount of HP at all, because that HP bar takes forever. We spot a fighter in this game, hoping we can seal out at least one more kill with this setup, using our shouts, missing a few swings. Luckily, he just kind of trapped himself in a corner, which is a bad thing to be doing, so we can just swing away. And that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be 2 hits, and it'd be over. I think my second hit actually swung through his hands as he was swinging his arm and sword. So first hit was chest, second hit was arms, and basically required a third swing, which I was not expecting. However, we do add to our kills, and we survived. And that 8 HP bandage is going to do little to nothing to help our HP situation. Overall, though, we have some loot, and we have an opportunity to escape with a kill, and a little bit of inventory. And to my surprise, while trying to rest, a guy starts opening the door next to me, and we spot a ranger. Looks like he's ready to deal some arrows, which will definitely hurt, seeing how we have absolutely no armor or projectile resistance. I think ranger would be probably the biggest counter to barbarian, as you can't stack damage reduction quite that easily. The magic resist perk you get helps with wizards, but ranger longbow still really, really hurts. He seems to move off, or else he's just holding the door with his bow, like most rangers would do. Luckily for us, we don't need to go that direction. We get a nice little blue portal tucked in the corner over here. We deal with the skeleton. He doesn't actually mess with our situation at all. And we're able to leave with some loot and a kill. Feels good. You know, not such an easy thing to do with the barbarian class starting out. So we take this portal and head to the shop to finally get an opportunity to vendor some stuff. Let's see what this guy had. Green recurve. Yeah, it would have basically a quick shot. We would have been done. And just out of curiosity, I'm going to spectate this barbarian to see how he makes out. Yeah, kind of what I expected. We smartly dodged that situation and are able to sell our few little trinkets. I mean, we didn't make out with a whole bunch of stuff here, but it is something. Something I hope to be able to use to buy some items in the future when I get, you know, a little ways into this series. I did change the rules a little bit and allowed my fighter class to buy a few weapons from the merchants, or even gamble with the goblin merchant. So I kind of had plans to do that as well with this class. Towards the end, we do get some interesting weapon setups. For now, though, we're pretty much basic barb. Go in there, fight as many people as you can, learn the class, see what happens, and appreciate the time you have in the dungeon as much as you can. I would do anything to simply run this setup for hours on end once again. As you get a little better with spacing, landing headshots, it surprises me that it takes 3 to kill a goblin. And we spot someone over just beyond. Looks like he's got a pickaxe out, and yes, he is going to start mining. So we may get to test test out how many swings it takes to kill a bard who isn't really paying attention to us, hopefully. Some people may find this ruthless, but if some people aren't keeping these guys in check, they'll be making off with way too much gold way too easily. At least that's how I think of it. There has to be some challenge for these guys. We can't give them a free pass. One headshot. Not sure if that was a headshot or not, which surprised me he wasn't dead. Takes actually 3 as well. And this poor fella, right into a raid, a wicked spawn, opportunity to mine some stuff. Brought in some, you know, green stuff just to maybe have something to defend himself with. That guy was just a little bit too trusting, because when you're in that mining animation, you are very vulnerable, especially if you let a guy get within swinging distance. And yes, I'm adding that to kill totals. Moving on, we get into the large open room, which is a very, very popular room that's attached to that cavern spawn, or open cave spawn with the kind of bridge through the middle. This barbarian's doing his friendly dance in the top corner, but you may be able to guess, I'm not really interested in making friends. I want what this guy has, and if he's looting those chests up there, on top of a few goblins, it's my opportunity to get rich. Now I will say there's a bit of karma involved in this, which may be foreshadowing a bit. Honestly, in this moment, I kind of forgot there was even a side swing, alternate swing option on that battle axe. I completely forgot about that, and the head chop level of it, just from using it those few times against the barrel, kind of had me wondering, man, that could work. What else could work is a throwing axe into this guy's back. Maybe 2. Unfortunately, the second one misses. We got him down a little bit. We're hoping that he took some goblin damage, and, you know, we might be able to swing an easy kill here in our favor. Now, it doesn't appear he has any potions or bandages. Don't see him healing. He may have just used a bandage there. I can't really quite tell. Truthfully, I'm hoping that that axe has kind of weakened him enough that we can basically, you know, land our swings, win this fight. And this doesn't really get off to a great start. Seeing how I almost never enter this part of this map, I forgot there was a trap there. We chase this guy around in circles, hoping to land a free hit, as he's just out of our reach. And he seems to have forgotten as well, or at least wasn't far enough away from it, so he takes a headshot from the spike. And I'm thinking, man, he must be weak. We do our shouts, our roars, I land a swing, and then the height advantage. Just like Anakin. Just like Anakin in that situation, I should have been aiming way higher, because my second swing did not connect how I wanted it to. It was in this moment I realized axe specialization is probably the way to go, especially with that rage ability, giving those axe swings a much better damage hit. So, we're learning, and learning slowly and taking a lot of deaths. Trying to be a little bit unique with some of our barbarian setups is definitely costing us. So next episode, we'll have to make some changes maybe, and be enlightened by what is one of the best skills in the game, Achilles Strike. Once again, thank you all for watching this video. I look forward to once again playing Dark and Darker, officially, with fresh content and fresh ideas. So look, if you have ideas for this series or options you'd like to see included, maybe buying from vendors, or maybe sticking solely to Goblin Merchant, maybe having the ability to buy a few pots every now and again. I have some ideas and we'll see where it goes, but truthfully I would love to see a tournament mode allowing me to fully embrace a 1v1 tournament against other players. And with that, I hope to see you all in the dungeon very soon.